Hi, guys. I'm Tahia. Welcome to the light where software meets the stars. Today, we're going to be talking about a prajna or an event chart. Before we begin, let's talk about what is a prajna. In Vedic astrology, prajna means question. It's the chart of a moment when a question is asked or an event occurs. You can think of it as taking a snapshot of the sky for the exact moment to understand the energy and the stars surrounding it. So, if a client asks about marriage, health, a lost item, a job, you can cast a prajna chart to study the planetary influences of that specific moment. Let's jump into this by first creating the chart itself. I'm going to pretend that we are going to create a chart for an event such as a marriage. The first thing I'm going to do is go to File, New, and you'll see the data entry pop-up window opens. You'll also see something here called Events, and you may wonder, why am I not using this? This is if you actually already have an existing chart and you want to see what the event would look like for that chart, that person. Since we're creating a brand new chart, we're going to go to birth data and we're going to leave it here. And in essence, this is actually the easiest way to do any prajna is just to open a new chart. Let's just say this is for a male, and I'm going to call this chart marriage. I'm just going to put a 1 by it. And I'm going to say the date of this chart is going to be, let's just make this up and say it's December 15th for this year. And we'll say that this is going to happen at 6 p.m. in the evening. I'm just going to leave the country, state, and city as is, just to let you know, as the astrologer, you would default this not to where the client is, but you would default this to your personal location. If you're in India, you would change the country to India and then add in your state and city. If you are in any other country, you would just change the country to where you are residing and fill in the other location points as is. We're going to click OK. And you see we have the chart pops up here. We see the birth chart, and we can also see the Navamsha. If you want to see additional divisional charts, you click on birth chart, and you can click on the Vargas. Click OK, and you will see other Vargas pop up for this specific event. And if we want to go back to our original chart, we can simply go back to Vargas, click where it says birth chart 1 home, click OK, and you'll see we're back to where we started. That's how you can create the prajna and how you can see the divisional charts or Vargas. To take this a further step, let's quickly look at the birth chart and the Navamsha. We see here that Jupiter is retrograde in the Lagna. For any type of event, especially a relationship astrology event, having retrograde planets, especially in the Lagna, can be problematic because during a retrograde phase, we are looking back and reassessing if things are going to work out for us. And if this is for an event like a marriage where we're starting a new beginning, the chart already has some concerns, especially being in the first house. Second, we see that the Lagna Lord is in the 6th house, and it's with Venus, the Karaka of the wife. When we first set this chart up, we set it up as somebody who identifies as male. The Lagna Lord in the 6th house with Venus could even imply that this person has some sort of contentious relationship with this person. And in the sign of Scorpio, the person may keep their feelings hidden or bottled up, but there could be some great intensity in here and how competitive they may be with their partner. That's one thing. The second thing to note is the ascendant is in the nakshatra of Ardra, indicated by a teardrop, which can say that this event may start out with some sort of turmoil or tragedy, or just not the way it was imagined, and also with a lot of anxiety. You can also see with Rahu being in the 9th house in Sarabisha in its own nakshatra will intensify this. The next thing we're going to see is that the 7th house has 2 malefics in it, and both these malefics are in the nakshatra of Mula, which is Ketu's nakshatra. Whenever you have the nodes related to the first and seventh house, you can almost guarantee that there are going to be plenty of ups and downs, shakeups, and transformation within this relationship. Now, if we move on to the Navamsha, we can see here again that Rahu and Ketu are in the first and seventh house, pretty much confirming the person may have a lot of anxiety behind the event and may be feeling a little bit unsure, but for whatever reason, he'll probably go through with this. And I say this because if you look at Shadbala, Saturn is the strongest here. Saturn has very strong strength in Shadbala, and that will give the person the perseverance to go through with it. But we can see that Venus has the lowest Shadbala, meaning that their desire may not be quite there, but they will go through with this. And lastly, I want to comment on the Dasha. This is in the middle of Rahu Venus Dasha for the event, not necessarily where the person is in his own Dasha, but the event is also midway through Rahu Dasha, and we're specifically in Rahu Venus, which lends itself to relationships. We can say here that this event most likely would take place, but with a lot of anxiety, and the person may be second guessing himself. And there may be a lot of fighting going on, or just some sort of feelings that the person's keeping inside that will eventually come to fruition and transpire. Hopefully that helps how to create a Prajna chart, how to see the divisional chart, and how to interpret this. Thanks for listening. If you want any other videos, please feel free to request them in the link below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.